You ever had that feeling? You make an investment, you feel great about it, and then moments later, this wave of regret just washes over you. Well, today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind that feeling, and more importantly, how to beat the mind game that trips up so many of us.
Oh yeah, it's a feeling we all know too well. You do all the research, you find a great company, you buy the stock after fantastic earnings, and then the very next day, bam, it drops. And instantly, your brain is just screaming at you, you made a mistake, a huge mistake. But what if that feeling of failure, what if it has nothing to do with your decision at all? Well, the answer, and this might sound a little weird, isn't found in a stock chart. It's actually hidden in the logic of a completely different game, Mahjong. Yeah, I know, it's an odd comparison, but stick with me here. It reveals literally everything about the mental trap we keep falling into.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's really explore the anatomy of that regret. We're going to break down how that sinking feeling you get in both Mahjong and stock investing comes from the exact same psychological trigger.
Okay, just look at the parallel here. It's kind of wild. In Mahjong, you toss a tile you think is useless. You're making the best play you can with the info you have. In investing, you buy a stock because the numbers look great, the story's solid, again, best decision with the info you have. In both cases, the logic is totally sound.
So why do we feel so bad? Well, it's because our brain is a storyteller. It creates this super simple but totally flawed narrative. I did X, and then Y bad thing happened, so X was a mistake. It's a mental shortcut that takes this immediate random feedback and treats it like it's the final verdict on our decision. And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of the issue. The reason a good decision can feel so wrong isn't about the quality of the decision itself. It's all about a fundamental conflict in how our brains process time. We call this the time frame mismatch. Basically, you've got two clocks ticking in your head. Your emotional brain, the one that feels that instant gut punch of regret, is on a really, really short clock. But your logical brain, the one that knows what's up, knows that one day's price move means absolutely nothing in the long run.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at the disconnect. Our emotional brain judges that Mahjong tile based on the very next turn. It judges a stock purchase based on the very next day's price. But winning the game of Mahjong takes a whole game, and winning in investing, that's measured over years, maybe even decades.
You know, this is classic cognitive bias at work. Our brains are hardwired for drama. We remember vivid, emotional stories, like the day I bought that stock and it tanked, way more than we remember boring old statistics. And it's all amplified by loss aversion. You know, that rule of thumb where the pain of losing $100 feels twice as bad as the pleasure of finding $100.
Okay, so enough about the problem. How do we actually fix this? How do we stop playing this frustrating, unwinnable mind game? Well, let's talk about the winner's mindset, the framework that successful investors use to get their emotions and their logic on the same page. It really comes down to three powerful mental shifts you can make starting today. First, you have to reframe the loss. A price drop is not a failing grade on your intelligence. It's either just random market noise that you should ignore, or it's new information to consider. Second, zoom out. Stop obsessing over one stock's wiggles and look at its real, often tiny, impact on your entire portfolio. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, you get to choose your evaluation point. Make a conscious decision to check in quarterly or annually, not daily. That single act puts you back in control.
And just to show you how powerful that zoom out step is, let's run the numbers. Let's say a stock you own drops 5%. Ouch, right? Your gut is screaming. But wait, what if that stock is only, say, 3.5% of your entire portfolio? The real damage to your net worth is a drop of just 0.17%. Psychologically, it feels like a disaster. Mathematically, it's literally a rounding error.
So, this all leads us to the big finale. The single most powerful idea you should take away from all of this. This is where that whole Mahjong analogy really comes home to roost and reveals your true advantage as an investor.
And here it is, the game-changing difference. In Mahjong, the game ends. That's it. The score is final, the evaluation point is fixed, it's forced on you. But in investing, you decide when the game is over. You and only you control the evaluation point. You can just choose to ignore the daily score. This right here is the whole key. Your greatest advantage as a long-term investor isn't some secret stock-picking formula. It is the freedom, the privilege to choose your own evaluation point. The power to just ignore the market's daily noise and decide for yourself when the score actually matters.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Are you going to keep playing the market's frantic, stressful, short-term game? Or are you going to use your real advantage and play your own patient, long game? Ultimately, the choice is all yours. Thanks for tuning in.